What's up, guys? Sir Symmetry here. It is the beginning of a new year, and I wanted to say Happy New Year's to you guys. Lots of love from me to you guys, all your friends, all your families. So, congratulations on making it to another year. Today's topic that I wanted to talk about was limiting beliefs. One of the things that we do a lot, we are our worst critics. If there's anyone that talks a lot of shit about us, it is ourselves. The things that we say in our mind, the things that we tell ourselves can get very crazy. We kind of, our mind can take us to really different, really weird places and things like that. Telling us these stupid things that that we believe, and things that are holding us back from doing the things that we want to do, that are going to bring us joy, bring us success, bring us love. And these are basically limiting beliefs, the stories that we tell ourselves, the things that are holding us back from getting what we want. And for example, one of the biggest things that I would say that I hear a lot, is even just from my father. My father always says that, "Oh, I'm too old," and he's 56. I think he just turned 56, 55 or 56, forget. But he always tells himself that he's too old to do anything. He just works in a factory. He's not. My parents are by no means rich. I know most people think that because I'm Indian, they're like, "Oh, is your dad a doctor?" I was like, I wish my dad was a doctor. But the thing that my dad always says is, "I'm too old to do this. I'm too old to change. I'm too old to go and do something else." He's feeling very comfortable in his position, so he doesn't want to change it. But the fact that him saying that he is too old is a limiting factor, right? It's a limiting factor in taking his life to the next step, and changing and becoming something, basically a stronger version of himself. And it's something for a while that I believed. I was like, "Oh, he can't do that. How is he gonna change? Because he's too old. Why would he want to change?" And I used to believe that. Then once I started basically getting out in the world and meeting a lot of great people, and hearing stories of how people change their lives, even up to 70 years old, and it made me realize that that's not true, that anyone can change their life, even no matter how old they are. Even if you take Grant Cardone for an example, someone who's very well known, very popular guy. I was watching one of his interviews recently, and he talks about how it hit him at 45, and that's when he really made a drastic change in his life. I'm not saying postpone your life or things like that. Like, "Oh, one day it's just gonna happen." No, but change. It doesn't matter how old you are. And so basically, that's one limiting belief. Other people will say, "Oh, I can't go to the gym because I'm too fat," or I can't learn this because I have ADD, or I can't do this. Actually, one great story is Richard Branson. He's actually dyslexic, and so of course he can't. It's very difficult for him to read. But he took that disorder, and he said, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna work even harder to get over this issue that I have." And so that made him even stronger. So he took that limiting belief, he took that issue, and he didn't keep it as a limiting belief. And he, as you know, is a very successful man, a great person to look up to. He's a billionaire. He owns a very great big company, and he's done flown to the moon and things like that. He's done a lot of great stuff. So if you are having limiting beliefs, stories that you are telling yourself, the first thing that I would recommend is doing your best to realize what your reality is. most people feed this bullshit into their head, which is not true, telling them that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. One of like the one big thing that I hear all the time is that, oh, I'm Indian. I hang out with a lot of Indian people, and it's like, oh, well, she doesn't want an Indian guy, or da 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 da. There's so many stereotypes that come with this stuff, but that's a limiting belief. Just because you're Indian doesn't mean that she's not gonna like you, or just like another that you have to be with an Indian girl or something like that. It's not it's not true. It's a limiting belief. Don't let that hold you back from getting what you want. People tell themselves stories that, oh, another really big one is my parents. My parents did this to me. My parents abused me. They emotionally would they would try to take control of me, and they wouldn't let me do this, they wouldn't let me do that, and they just don't let it go. One of the biggest powers as humans that we have is having the power to forget things. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but it's an actual disease when you can't forget things, because when we go through pain, we as a human, we have the power to forget that pain. When a mother goes through childbirth, she goes through very intense pain, but the fact that she can forget that pain and not hold on to that is a power that we as humans have. And I know the way I interpret this is, I know this is a little, it's just letting things go. If we have the power to, if you can let things go, let it be, then you can move on from a lot of things. So, for example, if, let's say that if you got your heart broken or something like that, and you can't get into a new relationship, people are gonna be that you're gonna tell yourself, oh, I can't be with another person because they did me like this, so the next person is gonna do me like that. Like, that's a limiting belief. Don't let that limiting belief conquer who you are, because you are stronger than that. You're better than that. You can do better than that. And if you're having these beliefs, try to figure out what's going on, if that's true or not. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it really true? If you understand, if you're really in tune with your reality, and if it is true that that person did you so bad that every other person is that, you're lying to yourself, and you're only killing yourself. So what I'm going to suggest to you guys is let go of your limiting beliefs, and you will become better. Boom.